I'm coming on. Hello. My name is Sue Keller, and we're in Daryl's living room. No, we're not. We're in Sue Keller's living room and Howard Vigorita's living room. And this is my 8th Ragtime Festival. And fortunately, although we don't have an audience, we have a lot of great players, and frankly, that's the best. So tonight you're going to hear from Ross Petot, from Gregg Sullivan, from Berke McKelvey, and from Ryder Corey, as well as me, Sue Keller, and Thom Dutton, who, as you might remember last year, is having played the harp. Well, he's got some great songs for us of the ragtime era. I'm going to start with a ragtime tune. How unusual. And this one's called Dill, Pickles. But this is the one with the words. 1906 was the one without the words, and then since it was such a big hit in 1906, what did they do? 3 years later, they wrote lyrics and sold it all over again. You know, they knew what they were doing. So here it was, Dill, Pickles. Now, I will point out to you, here's another Charles Johnson rag. And it says Silver King. Is it not beautiful? It is beautiful. But on this Silver King rag, it says, by the composer of Dill Pickies. So I will tell you right now, this is Dill Pickles, not Dill Pickies. Thank you. Well, you know, Dill Pickies. Listen, Maxie, to that lazy rag, it's a daisy, don't it? That dill pickle loving tickle just drives you crazy, don't it? Dance you, prance you round, round and around. Honest, I can't keep my feet on the ground. Come on, kiddo, don't refuse me, say, don't you love me, baby? If you act a loony scoony, let me dance you, baby. Prance me round, round and around, around and around and around. Listen to that tune, oh, you angel face slide, me glide me now, oh, me baby doll, be my loony loon, show me how that dream must, ain't it divine, make that loving kid, oh, you loving kid, oh, I love you kid, keep on singing kid, gonna go in that, come on singing kid, that dill pickle mag. It was the #1 hit of 1906. I don't know about the words. The words aren't as good. Did you know they wrote words to the Maple Leaf, by the way? Maple Leaf, no, I bet you don't. 1899, it came out, although it was supposedly written in 1897, thereabouts. And then came out with words in 1904, and they sold it all over again. And the words are really bad. But you've got Glenn Jenks doing it, I think, somewhere, Howard. Has Glenn Jenks doing that too? Well, it is Sunday, isn't it? Yes, it is. I have a tune I would like to play it was written, it was written by Mark Hayes. Mark Hayes is my favorite liturgical composer and an arranger, and I use him in my job as church organist exclusively. I've used one or two other people, but Mark Hayes is my favorite. This is a tune he wrote called Tribute to America. Enough said. No pickies in this one. I love that arrangement. Anyhow, Mark Hayes, yes. Now I'd like to introduce you, a person from Natick, Massachusetts, I believe. Yes? Not? You are. From Natick.
I live there now.
Oh, you do live there now. But he's not originally from Natick, as we know. He's originally from Ohio. Cleveland. Here's Ross Petot, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you tell him about him. You tell yourself. Oh, you know what I mean. Let me just get out of the way. Thank you.
Well, I tell people that I'm from Cleveland, and they say,
Oh, well, that's okay.
Oh, yes, please, you can remove all that.
Well, I'm going to switch things up here a little bit. This isn't exactly ragtime era. It's shortly thereafter. This is well, I'd say it has novel effects in it, and it was possibly influenced somewhat by the novelty style that was coming into vogue in the early 20s. It's an unusual tune, although it probably won't seem unusual to people because it's so well known. This is Fascinating Rhythm by George Gershwin. So this next one is also a Sunday kind of tune, since it is Sunday. This was written by Sam Coslow, probably not such a well-known composer. He wrote a lot of really great tunes, and many of his songs were really informed by the very early styles, although he did write My Old Flame. I think that's one tune about which Duke Ellington said, gee, I wish I had written that. He wrote a lot of other good ones, but this one is, he wrote this, I think, around 1930 for a show called Honey, long forgotten, I'm sure. And this is called Sing You Sinners. your sins are forgiven. I guess I can put this thing down.
Yeah, you can put that down. What the heck?
Well, I'm going to play one more, and this is going to be sort of a compatriot, I guess, of George Gershwin, that other great songwriter who I guess existed to some extent in his shadow, but was really regarded more as sort of a jazz writer, a jazz player. Had a certain type of sensibility about jazz playing, which I suppose you could say that about Gershwin. Gershwin was unbelievably slick and adept and a fabulous songwriter, but there was something about so many of Arlen's songs that really seemed to dig very deep and had sort of a bluesy backdrop. Having said that, this isn't one of those. This is a more sort of light and bouncy tune. I believe from the 30s. This is called Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea.
Yes, that's where we are right now, Ross. Yep, I don't mind shaking your hand. Go ahead. Oh my goodness, it's going to fall off. No, I'm kidding. I have decided, before I bring the next person up, I have decided that there is there's a certain kind of music that needs to be brought up, I think, at this particular time in our history. I was thinking about what form of music would work well with what we're going through right now. And I came up with it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it, really. Here it is. Apocalypso. Anybody laughing? Is anybody laughing? Apocalypse. Thank you. Tough audience. I didn't think I had an audience, but I got a tough one back there. Apocalypso, yeah. Vid. Give me a mask and I want to go home. Mi seco, mi seco, mi seco, mi seco, mi seco, mi seco, vid. That's it.
You want to go home?
Yeah, we want to go home. No, I don't want to get too crazy with the words because, it's not fun. Let's put it that way. We have to live through it, so here we are. We're living through it, playing music. I think that's great. So who's next? Let me think. Let's see. Not you. You're not playing. Why, it's Gregg Sullivan come to pay us a visit. Gregg, come on up here. Yeah, Gregg Sullivan. Gregg's from Eastham. He had to drive a long way to get here.
The traffic was hell.
I bet it was. Well, if you're coming that way. What is today, Sunday?
I stayed off of 6A though.
Oh, you're
Your
very
favorite
smart.
route.
My favorite route with the tree. Yeah, the tree trimming and everything. Some people might think that after Labor Day nobody comes to the Cape. I'm here to tell you they are wrong. Because we'd really like you to go home. You've been here since April, and frankly, we'd like to see you all go. That way, yeah. Where's the bridge? I don't know. Wherever it is, use the tunnel. Seriously, just use the tunnel.
Much quicker, more efficient.
Oh, I'm telling you, the tunnel, and there's 2 lanes, in the tunnel. Did you know that?
And your trip will be over in a snap.
Yeah, because you know what? There is no tunnel. You're gonna have to swim across it. So this has nothing to do with Gregg, however.
That's all right.
But Gregg has come in to join us, and I'm sure you can tell these lovely people exactly what you would like to play, and I will get out of your way immediately. Gregg Sullivan! Gregg Sullivan!
Have to do a little,
Yeah.
little scene change here, right?
It's all right. Do.
That's right, little,
Oh, sorry.
Actually, you can keep doing that.
Yeah.
It's got to tune up.
Oh, I was in the right key.
Up on my third.
Hey, I heard a voice from the peanut gallery. Where's Buffalo Bob? Buffalo Bob!
All right, how'd you like that so far? Was that pretty good? The guitar was in tune when I bought it, but
Is that your first tune?
yeah, actually, like Chet Atkins used to say, and with his band, tune up, boys. It bothers me. So, he kept them in line. So, well, I am real fortunate to have Sue invite me to the Ragtime Festival, even though this won't be official Ragtime, but I'll do my best. Best I can do on short notice, anyway. So this first thing is, I don't know when it's written. For anybody who would like to chime in, there's some trivia people here, right? This first tune is called Windy and Warm, written by John D. Loudermilk. For all you John D. Loudermilk fans out there, I know there are a lot, right? Not sure when it came out.
Was he Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road? Was that him?
That could have been D. Pickles, I don't know. Or Pickies, whatever. Dill Pickies. But not sure when it came out, but Chet Atkins did a really nice version of it way back in maybe 1954 or so. And I'm just going to give it a whack. Thank you. You're too kind. All right. So moving right along. This next one, I don't know if it'd be classified as ragtime, but I'm here and, well, we have no choice right now. This one's another oldie but goodie. I think it came out in 1924 and written by Isham Jones and lyrics by Gus Kahn. How about that, right? Oh, yeah. This has been covered by just about everybody.
Do you know his wife was Grace LeBoy? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Well, I'm here to tell you.
Oh, very good. I will have to remember that.
Yeah, use this bit of information.
That's right. All right, so this is called I'll See You in My Dreams. This last one, I think it actually can classify as a rag. It's called Cannonball Rag by the great Merle Travis. And we'll give this one a shot here. Well, thank you very much. I'll be here till Tuesday.
He'll be here next
Thank you.
year, ladies and gentlemen, playing Nola, whether he likes it or not. Lovely job. Was not that not lovely? May we have another round of applause, please, for Gregg Sullivan. That is Gregg Sullivan. Oh, well. I wrote a song last year because we're in Florida a couple months out of the year. Howard spends more time there than me, but I was seeing like 150 pelicans go by me every day, really, and that song hit me. It was perfectly. 5 pelicans, 12 pelicans. Geez, there's a whole lot of pelicans. How can will they land on me or take out 50 trees? Those pelicans. I don't know. Am I ever going to use that? It's like nothing, and there's nothing like a dame. Have I ever had a waist? Not that I recall. You know, these things come to me. What the heck? I have no idea. People think I make these things up, weeks in advance, but actually they just spring into my head. There's nothing I could do about it. So, yeah, I'm Sue Keller, but that's the way it is. However, I'd like to bring... am I bringing you back before I play or after I play? Are you first? Who's first? Well, I'm going to play one of Ross's rags, but we're going to figure out if it would be better for me to play it before he comes on or not. What does it say on the list, Howard?
Sue Atomic.
Sue, okay. Well, then... There I go then. That's it. Okay, well, this is the first time I've ever, I think, played this rag for Ross, and it is a great rag. It's called Atomic Shuffle. And when did you write this? What year was this written, please?
Oh, I wrote.
Guess one.
1989.
1988, 89. The first year I competed at... Oh, never mind. So here is Atomic Shuffle. Now, would you do me a favor, Tom, and hand me that music that's sitting back there? Because I do need one page. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Thank you.
Otherwise, it will be shorter.
Well, yeah. Well, it'll be a lot shorter. That's true. But it's just the one section I don't know well enough, frankly. Every time I play it, it gets different. I blame it on the piano. Oh, I'm sorry, the piano just made a mistake.
Yeah.
Wait, my tuner told the piano to play every note right.
Good luck.
Oh, it's upside down like Dr. Borga. The music is upside down. That won't be good. All right. Atomic Shuffle. That's it. Just get me through the B section once, Scott. I'll be happy. Okay, the Atomic Shuffle by Ross. You see why I only played the B section once. Although he wrote a beautiful B section, I'm just not that good at playing it yet. So, the composer of Atomic Shuffle, Ross Petot. Come on in. Yeah.
Well, I'm a coward. I don't play that anymore.
I can't say I blame you.
Well, I gave you the folio, so there's some easier ones in there. So maybe I'll do one of those now.
Yeah, sure. Sure, yeah, get rid of that. Yeah.
So the Atomic Shuffle was kind of a one and done as far as experimenting with the novelty style. And I've written a number of others, and they tend to sort of vary. So it's kind of an exploration of the idiom from modern to novelty to folk, Midwest, Joplin-esque, other styles. This one is, I think, probably more modeled after the sort of very peaceful Midwest style. This is called Splendid Fortune. All right, so now back to the show. I was playing Harold Arlen and George Gershwin and Sam Coslow, and there's another one that I would like to represent, even though this goes a little bit out of the way of ragtime. This is Cole Porter, and this is called Night and Day. Thank you. Night and day, verse and all. So I'm going to play one more, which is, I'm not going to ignore the giant in the room when all is talked about the great American composers and musicians and those who contributed to the music of our culture. And this was sort of a signature piece for the swing era, which it hailed in around 1930. This is Duke Ellington's It Ain't, Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing.
This way. You can go that way. Oh, I did need to mention these lovely flowers. They were sent to me by the president of my fan club. I think I have at least 6 members in Scotland, and that might be about it. But his name is Ross as well, but he's not a Petot. He's a Fairfield. He's a Ross Fairfield. He's a P.A. That's okay. It doesn't have to be a Petot. He can be a Fairfield, right? Are there other Rosses around? Yes. Ross from Friends. Yeah. David Schwimmer. Yeah. Well, in any event, I forgot who I was going to introduce. But here we all are having a wonderful time. I hope you are too. But when you're going to be seeing this, you're going to be in your living room in PJs. And it'll be a lot of fun because you can take breaks whenever you want. But we can't, so we're going to keep the show going. And there you go. I'm going to introduce a friend of mine, Thom Dutton, who is indeed sitting out there in the audience. I see you, Tom. Come on up and show everybody who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Thom Dutton.
Direct from Montana.
Direct from Montana, the Yellowstone Ranch, ladies and gentlemen. Thom Dutton.
Yeah.
Well, I am
honored to have been asked to return to the festival. Yeah, right. As Sue said earlier, last year I played my Celtic harp, which certainly brought variety to the festival. And when she asked me to return this year, I thought, I want to do something a little bit different. And I knew that Scott Joplin had written an opera called Trementia.
Which is horrible.
And I asked Sue if there any good arias from that, and she said, quite frankly, no. And she said, well, there is one, and she showed it to me, and it was coloratura soprano. I said, yeah, that's probably not going to work. So I said, you got anything else? And a couple weeks later, she handed me this stack of music.
I handed him a bunch of strange tunes. I said, what did Robinson Crusoe do with Friday on a Saturday night? That was one of them. We're not doing that one.
Nope.
But we're not doing that one.
And I was very intrigued by this first one. It's an Australian rag. It's called the Sundowner rag. And even though the ragtime popularity was relatively short-lived, it was obviously very widespread. And I'm sure you don't hear too many rags that refer to kookaburras, kangaroos, and boomerangs. Goes like
Boomerangs,
this.
maybe. Kookaburras, not so much.
Too much.
Okay. Sorry. We're not doing Waltzing Matilda, are we? No.
What is that strain I hear? Won't you please tell me, dear? It's so fascinating. It makes you feel as though you'd glide away, right away to dreamland. That's the Sundowner rag that makes you feel so glad. It's entrancing, sets you dancing. Listen, I'll sing it, dear. That is nobody here, for it's such a lovely melody. That sweet Sundowner rag, that tune will never drag. King Billy says that tune sound pretty good to me. Might think it make 'em good to ragtime corroboree. Like a boomerang floats through the air, most everywhere. The kookaburra, magpie, and the cockatoo, the possum, native bear, and the kangaroo all sing, all swing in time to that Sundowner rag. That sweet Sundowner rag, that tune will never drag. King Billy says that tune sound pretty good to me. Might think it make him good to ragtime corroboree. Like a boomerang floats through the air, most everywhere. The kookaburra, magpie, and the cockatoo, the possum, native bear, and the kangaroo all sing, all swing in time to that Sundowner rag. They sing it way out back where the bushwhackers track their shoulders to that tune, so like they do the grizzly bear in the air everywhere. You'll see them, and when the moon peeps out, birds and beasts all creep out, sleepless feeling around them stealing. They've got the latest prance, all of them love to dance to the music of that sweet refrain. That sweet Sundowner rag, that tune will never drag. King Billy says that tune sound pretty good to me. Might think it make 'em good to ragtime corroboree. Like a boomerang floats through the air. Just everywhere. The kookaburra, magpie, and the cockatoo, the possum, native bear, and the kangaroo all sing, all swing in time to that Sundowner rag.
I got some koalas in upstairs.
For the past 3 decades or more, I have pretty much immersed myself in the music and culture of the 7 Celtic nations. So when I found some Celtic-themed rags in the stack that Sue gave me, I said, oh, we're doing them. One of my favorite traditional Scottish tunes has always been We'll Mock the Keel Row. We'll mock the keel row, the keel row, the keel row. We'll mock the keel row that my laddie's in. And so when I came across the tune called Then We'll Rag the Keel Row, I said, we're doing that one. That's a keeper. I don't even care what it sounds like. We're doing that one. And it turns out that it is a great tune. It goes like this.
It's not near as bad as we thought.
No.
All right, then we'll rag the keel row. And now we'll sing it in Gaelic. No.
Oh, dearie me, I'm just so happy as the birds in spring. Oh, dearie me, I feel so good, I want to dance and sing. Oh, dearie me, I'm just so sad and lonely ever since she went away. But I'm feeling better 'cause I've had a letter saying she'll be home today. There's a Highland lassie coming over the sea. There's a Highland lassie coming over to me. So I'm laughing and dancing and singing while the bells in the kirk, they are ringing. There's a sprig of heather hanging over the door, and the pipers will be playing all the while. So we'll rag o'er the keel row, for Sandy's coming home to her bonny little Charlie of Argyle. Sandy McKee, I'm bonny Highland lassie, I've been true. Sandy McKee, I never seen a lassie quite like you. Down in the glen I've got a band of pipers, laddies and lassies to sing. And amid the heather we will dance together to a real old Highland fling. There's a Highland lassie coming over the sea. There's a Highland lassie coming over to me. So I'm laughing and dancing and singing while the bells in the kirk, they are ringing. There's a sprig of heather hanging over the door, and the pipers will be playing all the while. So we'll rag o'er the keel row, for Sandy's coming home to her bonny little Charlie of Argyle. There's a sprig of heather hanging over the door, and the pipers will be playing all the while. So we'll rag o'er the keel row, for Sandy's coming home to her bonny little Charlie of Argyle.
Yay! That was weird. I was thinking Stupid Prince all the way through that. You know, the Stupid Prince. I'm going like this, going, bring me some men, a strong-hearted man. Yeah. It was called that the Stupid Prince, not the Student Prince. Okay, Tom,
Now,
what have you got for us?
over to the Irish side of Celtic. When I first played through this tune, my first thought was I could certainly hear my grandfather playing this record over and over and over. It's called That Old Irish Mother of Mine.
Oi. Oh, no, oi doesn't work, does it?
No, not really.
But wait! Isn't it Yom Kippur? Or hasn't it been?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, thank you! The Day of Atonement, yes. We lived in Brooklyn. Need I say more? Oh, sorry. Schmaltz.
Yeah.
Railroad tracks.
In my mind there's a beautiful picture that someone engraved on my heart when I was a wee little laddie on that island they call the Old Dart. It's a picture that God gave to me of my daddy's Acushla Macree. In her eyes there's a dew of Killarney. On her cheek there's the rose of Kildare. On her lips there's a wee bit of Blarney. And the snow of Athlone in her hair. On a St. Patrick's morn she was cradled and born. In her smile there's a light that's divine. She's as sweet as the day. She stole Dad's heart away. That old Irish mother of mine. It is always good luck and God bless you each time she bids you goodbye. For a poor broken heart that's love hungry, there's a sweet cheery smile in her eye. When you gaze on that picture, you see she's a mother and sweetheart to me. In her eyes there's a dew of Killarney. On her cheek there's the rose of Kildare. On her lips just a wee bit of a Blarney. And the snow of Athlone in her hair. On a St. Patrick's morn she was cradled and born. In her smile there's a light that's divine. She's as sweet as the day. She stole Dad's heart away. That old Irish mother of mine.
up next? What do you think?
Well, I got one more for you, and we're going to do this one just because it is fun.
Yeah.
It's called...
Not for any other reason.
Not for any... No. It's called I Wonder What Will William Tell?
Seriously?
Music by X, with apologies to Rossini.
Here we go.
Harry and May used to wander away to a place where nobody could find them. They didn't fear, thinking no one was near, but her young brother Will was behind them. Harry said, "Miss, here's the place where we kiss," and he got the one he was seeking. May turned around and she fell to the ground when she saw Brother William was peeking. What would you do if you had a sneaky little brother running home to tell your mother every single thing he ever saw you do?
Are you ready?
I wonder what would William tell? I wonder what will William tell? I wonder what will William tell when he gets home to Ma? That's the worst of brothers and sisters and others. They run and tell your mother and she tells your pa. I wandered with you in the dell. I wondered then if all was well. I wonder what will William tell when he gets home to Ma? Harry was sad, thinking she was in bad, but she tried to be happy and cheerful. May hung her head and she bashfully said, "Gee, I bet that the kid got an earful." Just to be kind, Harry said, "Never mind, he's only just teasing his sister." They looked about and they heard someone shout, "I was up in the tree when you kissed her." That was enough. There was nothing left to do or say. The kid was 50 yards away. He started on a marathon and then his sister sighed. I wonder what will William tell? I wonder what will William tell? I wonder what will William tell when he gets home to Ma? That's the worst of brothers and sisters and others. They run and tell your mother and she tells your pa. I wandered with you in the dell. I wondered then if all was well. I wonder what will William tell when he gets home to Ma?
Oh, goodness, yes. Thom Dutton. I wonder what will William tell. I don't care what William tells anyway. I don't know who William is. But, yeah, there are so many of those great ones. When Ragtime Rosie ragged the rosary. That was another great. Play My Wedding March in Ragtime. That was my processional, actually, at my wedding. And the recessional was, that tune from Treemonisha, the only one anybody knows, and that's the real slow drag, and it's really slow and draggy. But there are 300 pages in Treemonisha, and I have to tell you, I did it in Sedalia one year with piano players I wasn't sure could sing. Well, fortunately, they all could. But I cut 300 pages down to 51. And I will say those are the best 51 pages out of those 300 pages. It wasn't, I don't think it was the world's greatest opera, but I think if Joplin had lived, he probably would have gone more into the classical form because that's really what he was interested in. And he was trained as a classical performer. So no matter what. Yes, Scott. There he is, looking askance, not paying any attention to what we're doing because look at him. Ooh. Well, there you go. Now it's time for the reed part of the program. A couple guys with reeds and instruments attached to them. Who is coming up first?
We're going to do it.
We're doing a duet. So I'm going to introduce Berke and Ryder and let them talk about themselves. Here they are, Berke McKelvey, Ryder Corey.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to get on my horse and start riding.
Oh, you might as well.
I'm telling you.
Remember when they did your lark? Show us your lark pack. Do you remember that, Berke?
Yes.
Well, Tom did.
I was going to talk if say a few things. Yeah, if that's okay with you. Yeah. There you go.
Then there was have a pizza roll. You remember that one? That was
Oh,
also
what
one.
great commercials! Those
Oh, I'm telling you.
So we're glad you invited us into your living room.
Thank you.
Yeah, she said, a couple of reads up. That's why we have the music, so we can read the music. That's what she was really talking. Oh, okay, fine. So we are half of the Cape Cod Sax Quartet, and one of our members is actually in Los Angeles right now, which is why he's not here.
Long commute.
And another one of our members is really not ready to come out and be this close to other people yet, concerning
us.
about the but concerned about the current pandemic situation, which is totally fair. So I dug out a couple of duets. So this is a Scott Joplin duet, and this one is set for 2 soprano saxophones and piano accompaniment. And then Ryder's going to perform a Rudy Wiedoff waltz. Rudy Wiedoff was a great and quite popular, sort of the Kenny G of his day, saxophone player in the 20s and 30s. He worked a deal where one of his friends, I think it was Decca Records, and so he would go in and record all of his stuff for his friend on Decca Records. So there weren't many records out, so usually records you got had Rudy Wiedoff on them. So he became very well known, a household name. And although he was also a very good classical saxophone player, he was mostly known for his ragtime pieces and his novelty pieces, and he transitioned well from ragtime into vaudeville, and he was very successful as a vaudeville performer as well. And then I'm going to do a Rudy Wiedoff piece, and then we're going to come back together and do one more soprano saxophone duet. So here we go, half of the Cape Cod Saxophone Quartet, Ryder Corey and Berke McKelvey. I'm telling you.
Hey, we got the right half, haven't we? Yes, we have.
That's right. This first one is a ragtime dance, if all goes well.
Well,
Can you give us one of those 440 things?
440 and a half, 441, ladies.
Just so you can prove the saxophone players know how to tune up.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. Play a harp, and let's talk about tuning up.
1, 2, 1, 2. Together. I love that. That's great.
That's the best part, yes.
So Ryder's going to play a nice waltz now with...
I can't hear you.
Ryder's going to play a nice waltz now with a tenor saxophone and piano composed by Rudy Wiedoff.
Who's he
This was composed in 1925.
Okay, give me a nice tempo. One.
is, I'll get close to the microphone.
That would be good.
Yeah, I was coached on that the last time.
Yeah, Howard tries to coach.
So this is one of Rudy Wiedoff's compositions specifically for his vaudeville shows. He had wrote things like Saxophonuts, and this is Saxophobia. Saxophone was another one of his songs. And this particular type of alto, it's a regular alto saxophone in terms of fingering and pitch, but instead of having the bell come up like this, there's the bottom little U is straightened out, and it's got this on the bottom. And the Buescher Company, an American saxophone company, when the vaudeville era was maybe 2 years away from dying out, they realized that the sax players weren't buying any new saxophones because they all looked the same. So they interested saxophone players into getting funny shaped saxophones as a stage prop. And they sound pretty good. So I thought I would play, although Rudy's never used one of these, he actually designed his own saxophone for the Holton Company. There was a Rudy Wiedoff model for the Holton Saxophone Company. It had a whole bunch of extra keys to facilitate fast trills and shakes and things on the saxophone that he was using in his technical performances. But this is a straight saxophone which would have been used on the vaudeville stage in the 20s and early 30s, and this is called Saxophobia, which I have right over here, but I'm going to play it over here.
Well, that's good.
So
I have mine here, and I'm going to play it right here.
so I can keep my eye on my accompanist.
Yeah, you better.
All right, so let me try that tuning thing again, because just because it was in, cold.
Hi.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 1. Rides again right there.
Rudy rides again. That's the one. We knew a saxophone quartet we do up in Canada. Quartet? Oh, no, there are 4 of them. That means a quartet, doesn't it?
So we have one One more of the Scott Joplin duet.
Hey, stop! There we go. He's got Maple Leaf up there, but it looks like somebody's John Thompson first piano book. Seriously.
The favorite.
The favorite! Was it our favorite? It's our favorite. All right.
1, 2, 1.
Gentlemen, we're going to all hang out right here because we have a splendiferous and wonderful final piece for you. It's Jelly Roll Morton claims he wrote it. We'll think about that. But in any event, it's called The Tiger Rag, and I'm going to pull everybody back on. Gregg Sullivan. Gregg Sullivan. Sorry, Greg. I've got on the thing. Ross Petot, who is coming up to the piano, so I am ceding the piano bench to Ross. It's Ross's piano bench now. Come in, Ross. Oh, the first concession you've ever gotten. Have you ever worked at a concession stand? I mean, you did. All righty. That's good. Hey, let's just play. Play this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Les Paul and Mary Ford had this great arrangement. Here it is. We're going to destroy every bit of it as much as we can.
Well, no, we're just going to make it our own.
Yeah. We'd make a mistake twice, you know, it's an arrangement. You do know that, don't you? Sorry, I did that twice now. I meant it. All right. Well, we're going to wait for Greg to tune up, and then Tom's going to tune his harp. No, I'm kidding. He's certainly not going to tune mine because it's, we have to start lessons again, and I have to start playing the harp again. That's beautiful, Greg. Would you play that note again, please? That's as good. Well, as long as you start it, we should be okay. All right, I'm going to let Greg and everybody else take this, and I'm just going to, hang around for a while. Maybe. that tiger? Where's that tiger? Lost that tiger. Can't find that tiger. Where's that tiger? Taking that tiger. Lost that tiger. Has anybody seen that doggone tiger? Where's that tiger? Here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, 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 here, puss, 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 kitty, 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 here, puss, 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 kitty, kitty, get, kitty, 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 meow, 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 meow. Everybody meow with me. Meow, meow. Has anybody seen that doggone tiger? Oh, that tiger. Oh, that tiger. Oh, that tiger. Oh, that tiger. Oh, that tiger, tiger. Oh, that tiger, tiger. Oh, that tiger. Now take it, take it, take it. First of all, Berke McKelvey, who came all the way from Brewster, which is, anytime when there's tourists around, that's a long way. Poor Ryder comes from Falmouth, and we know that's the other side of the world. So I know we were lucky to get him. Thank you, Ryder, Corey, Berke McKelvey, our saxophones, Thom Dutton, who brought us some lovely music. And next year, imagine how bad it can get. Because those ragtime tunes, some of them are just, well, of course, the words are kind of questionable, and you can't do a lot of them now. Gregg Sullivan. Gregg and I are going to play NOLA next year, I think, together. So, yes, there we go. And, of course, Ross Petot, our guy from Cleveland. We're sorry about your baseball team, but other than that, no, ours this year didn't do so good either. So
maybe when they change their name, then maybe.
Oh, really? Oh, boy. We have to go through that again? Okay, let's just change some names. The Wolverines. Wait, is there something wrong with there? There is a Wolverine somewhere, isn't there? Thank you all. This is the 8th year of my Ragtime Festival, and I've done, how many of them now? 18. 2 in New York, 8 in Illinois, and 8 out here. This is my 8th one on the Cape.
For Sue Keller!
Thank you. We also have to thank Howard, who really, seriously, he has, and very good. It's a good thing we got Howard because Howard really knows what he's doing. Unlike a lot of these people to get behind the camera and you wonder what the heck they've been drinking because, you know. Because anyhow, thank you so much. Next year we might be in another place, but I had real fun in the living room. I thought about changing my dress a couple times and I thought, why bother? Although my whole wardrobe's here, oh boy. I could have dressed everybody up. But thank you so much for coming, everyone. Don't forget your $6 million checks on the way out.
Okay, fine.
Howard's going to pay for everything. No, I'm kidding. Ragtime Press is paying for everything. That's our business. And I just wanted to mention these flowers, like I said, from my fan club in Scotland. And he wanted to make sure. He was asking how the preparations for the live stream was going. And I said, well, we're not live streaming it. So that's the next. He said, good, because I didn't want to have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch it. So thank you all for coming. It's been a great night, and what can I say? Thank you. A 440.5. Could you tell? Oh. Thanks, everyone.